Wait. How do you pronounce that?
Dude, I don't know.
Dale. Daylight come and I wanna go home. Hey!
Come, Mr.
Tallyman, tally me
banana.
banana. Daylight come and we wanna go home.
go home.
6 foot, 7 foot,
7 foot,
bunch.
8 foot, bunch.
Daylight come and we wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Rip Mr. Belafonte.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, welcome back, ladies and gentlefish, bookworms and movie buffs, boys and ghouls. Ooh.
Bitches and bros and non-binary hoes.
Bienvenue, power bottoms. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Barely Literate Book and Movie Club.
I just realized since we're not doing a stream,
Yeah.
I'm untethered. I can make all the jokes. You just have to censor it.
Oh, no. It's not going to go well when you just hear beep.
It's just like, man, I'm going to myself.
I'm going to off myself. I'm going to get off and then I'm going to off myself.
Yeah, just hear,
Oh, no.
hey, I'm Art the Clown.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Oh, you know what? He already gave it away. Welcome to Terrifier 2 episode. I am your host, Chris.
I'm Nick.
Yeah, that took a little too long for you to say. Did you forget your name for a second?
I was debating on if I should say Gooberino, Macho, or Nick, or the Candyman.
The Candyman.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense because I have no ties to that movie at all.
I hear the Candyman
Or any
can.
references.
I just turned off my fan just in
Candyman.
case. It's going to get hot in here.
I just know that this recording might, like...
It's going to be much.
The energy is off with both of us.
What do you mean it's off
Gonna be
with
a little
both of us?
It's going to be a little chaotic.
How is it off with the both of us? I'm completely coherent.
Took a little pause there.
You taking a little...
Scratch my back. Hold up.
What are you scratching it with? A fork? It's a fucking fork, isn't it? Oh my god, you're scratching your back with, I guarantee, a used fork.
I have a shirt on.
That's so nasty! Oh my god!
In my defense, I didn't really use the fork when eating pork chops.
What, so then why do you have it? What do you mean you
I had it
didn't
there for
really
moral
use
support.
it?
Yeah, I
What?
was gonna use it, but then I just grabbed the pork chop.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. I don't know, man. But yes, we are back with Terrifier 2. So after we watched the first one, we were like, man, we love this movie so much, we're going to watch the second one. And
Yeah, we totally didn't plan to watch all three.
No, totally. We were just like, yo, it's so good. Oh man, the second one's already on Amazon Prime. I'm going to grab my
I
popcorn.
yearn for more.
More what?
Death.
Oh,
Destruction.
chaos.
Chaos. There we go.
Well,
Ah!
so that's pretty much why we picked the movie. We already saw the first one, and that's going to be the same reason for the third movie, because we're going to do that, because we already saw the second
Yep.
one.
Essentially.
So, a little bit of backstory on Terrifier 2. Much like the first one, it's about a clown named Art, and he's got some real issues.
He's back. Because in the first one, he died. He shot himself.
I'm a bitch is back. Stone Cold
There it
Sober,
is.
as a matter of fact.
Sing it.
I can bitch, because I'm better than you. That's exactly. Yo, what is that voice? Oh, it's Grimace.
Oh my god, dude. The vaguely European guys.
The
from
twins
Family
from
Guy.
Family Guy. But yeah, so Terrifier 2 was released in 2022, so not too long ago, about 3 years. And much like its predecessor, Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2 was written and directed by Damien Leone. Woo!
Sick name.
Damien.
But, you know, they gave him a bigger budget this time.
They gave him a
'Cause
huge budget.
The previous film was $35,000.
And
All
Nick,
right.
what was it? What was it this time? Let me hear it.
What do you mean?
How much was it?
Oh, sorry.
Come on, man!
Just ruined it. Take two.
Cock the gun.
So, the first one was $35,000. Okay, and that's a crazy budget for a film because that's like some people's salary.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Terrifier 2 had an estimated budget of $250,000 and grossed $15 million worldwide.
Oh boy.
How much of a like? Hold on, let's do the math.
Okay, what are you gonna like? How much of a percentage was the budget?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like how much did they get back to be able to like?
What do you mean get back? They got $14 million back. They made 14 mil.
Okay.
How did you needed a calculator for that?
I don't know.
Anywho, so Terrifier 2 also had a substantial runtime increase. The first Terrifier ran an hour and 25 minutes. Terrifier 2, 2 hours, 18 minutes. That shit is crazy. That's almost a whole other hour of art.
Yeah, and honestly, it really felt like it too because
It did. It felt a little long.
Because usually me and Chris have to pause. Like this time, I didn't have ads, but Chris has ads because he's poor, and
wow,
we would have to pause for that, bathroom breaks, stuff like
little
that.
pee.
Yeah, and
I was eating pizza.
You were eating pizza, were you?
Yeah, I was.
What did I just eat before that? I ate
You
garlic
ate pho.
butter noodles.
Didn't you eat pho?
No, that was the first Terrifier movie.
Throwback.
Yeah, the second Terrifier movie, before we sat down to watch it, I ate garlic butter noodles with kale in it and mushroom steaks.
You are fucking up. You're not sending me pictures of the mushroom steaks.
I know, because I'm not proud of it.
You're a disappointment.
I want to send you the mushroom steaks when they're absolutely
You're the
perfect,
Harry
'cause I want
Osborn
you
to
be
my
proud of
Peter
me.
Parker.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
What is that from?
I don't know, honestly.
Moving on.
It's gonna drive us crazy. Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. You want to say it? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, according to IMDb, David Howard Thornton, who plays the silent Art the Clown, performed voiceover for the Art Krispies cereal commercial during the dream sequence.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because now I'm like, because I've heard David Howard Thornton's voice before.
I've never,
because he was on an episode of Last Podcast on the Left. He was doing an interview with Henry.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Ed. And I wish I listened to that episode again before this, because he had a lot of insight on the movies.
Why? Why did he have a lot of insight on the movies?
Because he played Art the Clown, and he gave a lot of like behind the scenes kind of like banter.
Okay, so he was in the movie.
Yeah, he was actually the titular character. You know.
Oh, okay. Wait,
he put the
girl
tit in titular. No, the guy, Art, the clown.
Oh.
Yeah. See, you didn't know that.
Wait, is that the guy that sells burgers down the road from me?
Yeah. So watch out for him, because...
Wait, so who's Ronald?
I don't know. Some kind of pedophile.
That's why they don't have places anymore.
Nope.
All right.
And Grimace.
So, a little bit of summary of the movie. Try to be, spoiler free, but obviously, you're listening to this episode. You want to know more about Terrifier 2. We want to give it to you consensually, but Terrifier 2 basically picks up after the events of the first film. So, with Art the Clown mysteriously resurrected after being just gutted in the face by cops and
he shot himself.
Oh, he did shot himself. Yeah, he rode the sewer slide and kind of repainted the bathroom wall.
Yeah.
Resurrected in the morgue to unleash just a whole new hellhole of chaos. So This time, however, completely different story, right? Nothing about Terrifier 2 is remotely similar to the first movie. Not a
you can
single
tell
thing.
There's definitely you can definitely see their increase in budget.
Yeah.
And the increase in creativity too.
Oh yeah. So, like I said, this movie, not a single scene was take an idea from the first movie. So it's about a girl on Halloween wearing a costume and surviving. Did you see what I did there? You have no idea if I'm talking about the first or the second movie because it's the same fucking thing. So this time he sets his sights on a teenage girl named Sienna and her younger brother, Sienna Jonathan. Sausage. Yeah, Nick thought that her name was what? Sierra?
Vienna.
And then he was like, yeah, bro. And then I think it was like maybe 2/3 of the movie through.
I called her my little Vienna sausage, and Chris was like, huh?
He was like, what did you say? He goes, yeah, Vienna. I'm like, who the fuck is Vienna? He goes, the girl. And I'm like, Nick, her name is Sienna. And he's like, what? And I go, we've been watching this movie for 2 hours and you just learned her name?
We were like near the end, dude. It was like maybe 45 minutes left.
Dude, I'm not even joking with you. That was a long 40 minutes.
That was a long 40 minutes. And we will get into that in a little bit. Because Chris has some words.
I got some words. Sienna basically grapples with strange visions and a family tragedy and becomes entangled in Art's relentless sadistic rampage. Again, on Halloween night, because she, a girl, on Halloween night is being chased by Art the Clown. Again, on Halloween night. Much like the first movie with the two friends on fucking Halloween night being chased by Art the Clown on fucking Halloween night.
And don't forget that both main girls were brunettes. There was two brunette main girls, kinda. One of the brunettes died, and then there was that blonde friend that also died.
Yeah. Is it Dawn? No.
Yeah, and then the blonde friend was also very callous in both movies.
Was she blonde? I don't remember her being blonde.
In the first one?
No, the second one. I remember her having darker hair.
I don't know why I'm thinking of her as a blonde. Let me look this up real quick.
Basically, we can get into this. Some quick plot of the film. You know, like we said, Halloween night, girl is kind of freaking out because her brother is a little bit of a fucking weirdo. Jonathan is that classic kid who likes basically. He likes all the weird macabre shit, you know, is obsessed with serial killers. He found his dead dad's journal. He starts drawing in it, and there's like titty pictures that the dad drew that he wanted to keep from the kid. And then he starts poking at a dead possum in school or something like that.
The pictures are like, if you really read into them, it's kind of weird because it's the dad's sketchbook, and they go over that the sketchbook kind of like he saw into the future kind of thing. Like these are visions.
I got nothing of that. That's okay.
And the one of the pictures was straight up like his own daughter in a very skimpy like warrior armor type like outfit.
I don't know. So before we get into all the ins and outs of the movie, I will say, like Nick had mentioned earlier, it's a very substantial increase in quality. So you are seeing that the cinematography is, not going to say it's amazing, but it's much better. You know, they spent the time to go through it. But with that being said, the color grading, a lot better too. The first movie seemed a little, for lack of a better word, it seemed dull. You know what I mean? It seemed like the colors were a bit more muted.
They didn't have a lot of lighting going on for them.
They didn't. This one, while they had a lot more, it still had the feel of like an indie movie. I will say that the timing, once you start the movie, the timing is off. Oh,
bless me. Sorry.
Bless you, darling. He's so alone, he has to bless himself. There was a spray and a color to that. Are you okay?
I meant to say, excuse me.
You sneeze and you pull out like a pretentious asshole character. Oh, bless me.
Bless me.
No, not after that. God.
Nobody will bless me.
I guess I have to do it myself.
My heart stopped for a millisecond and nobody blesses me. Little old me.
I died and nobody cared. No. So I will say that the timing of the movie is a little weird because it starts off... Okay, how am I going to say this? The movie starts off with the morgue scene. So fucking Art just... Okay, I'm wearing a tank top right now. It's hot in my room, and it was like kind of like annoying me in the back of my arm. So I just put my T-Rex arm in. And I was like, So the movie starts off with Art kind of like being resurrected in the morgue. He kills the mortician, and he kills him in a very interesting way. But then you realize that there's no jump in time. But the events of the movie take place a year later. So, like we said, remember, the first movie was Halloween Night and the second movie was Halloween Night. That's a year later. But Art and the mortician are in the same place. So we're supposed to believe that it was a jump cut. It was like a time jump cut, but nothing indicates that at all.
Right. Like, I'll say this. This is kind of going off the rail a little bit. If you want to like know how gruesome this movie was, I don't even remember how the mortician died. I just remember Art grabbing his eyeball and trying to replace his own missing eyeball with the mortician's eyeball. I thought that was funny as fuck. No, it was really funny. He's like, "Oh, this thing doesn't work," so he pulled it right back out.
I believe the mortician died with he took like the hammer that they use to check your reflexes.
Oh yeah.
I think he beat him to death with it. Now I want to say something. I was told by our lovely co-host Nick that Art now has a power.
Don't quote me on that
too
much.
So I'm do you want to say what I'm going to say?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about it. I heard, all right, little backstory. I watched like a video on the Terrifier movies, and that's why I was like, hey Chris, let's watch Terrifier. But this was like months ago. Yeah. Right. But
he was like, do you want to watch Terrifier? I was like, I've always wanted to watch Terrifier, so let's do it.
Right. And I never really like suggest horror movies, so Chris was like, he jumped right on.
Yeah.
So what I heard in this video was that in Terrifier 2, which I will say, Terrifier 2 is what I expected Terrifier 1 to be. So, like, I kind of knew going in what was going to happen in Terrifier 2 to a certain extent.
I have no idea.
What they said was, in Terrifier 2, Art has a new ability where no matter how much damage he does to the body, the person will always stay alive to suffer the entire time.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, Art is technically undead at this point. He is now a supernatural being. We don't get any information on it from the first movie unless there's information from the short films. We haven't seen those. But if you're going into it blind like we did for the first movie, it was just a crazy serial killer. But now, in this one, it's obvious that he is now a supernatural being that can't die, I'm guessing, because there's 2 more movies. Yeah, you had said that he can stop his victims from dying of whatever to like prolong the pain. I will say that if that's true, one, it was not told in the movie at all. Like there was no hint that he had this power. But go for it.
It was really only evident with the most gruesome death, which was Vienna's friend,
Sienna's
friend, and that was the only time where it was like you could kind of assume that.
Yeah, because he really kind of like went to town on this friend.
He carved her, dude.
I just want to look up the cast, and I believe the friend's name is Allie.
I don't remember the friends' names. They weren't as memorable to me as I was gonna say the last girl's name, but I don't remember the main character's name from the first one. Brooke.
So the main character's name for the first one is shit. Hold on. It's not shit. It's just hold on.
No, yeah, her name's Hold On.
Tara
Tara
and Dawn. Okay, we gotta get better at that. So the 3 friends now are Sienna, Brooke, and Allie. Sienna is our lead actress, the stunning scream queen. Allie is Allie and Brooke are both of her friends. So Allie is more like the nice friend, She seems like the one that she grew up with and is more comfortable with. Brooke is kind of the same level as Dawn. So she's very loud, very outgoing, and kind of pretentious in a way.
Oh, she pissed me off at the end of the movie.
Oh, she really pissed me off. She did things that Nick would do to me, and I'm very upset.
I wouldn't do that. He kept saying it like the entire like rest of the movie, and I was like, Chris, I will actually murder you.
See, I told you. And then we have the brother, Jonathan, who he's fucking weird. Jonathan's a weird.
I did not like Jonathan at all.
No. Okay, we're not shitting on any of the actors. We are only shitting on the characters. The character of Jonathan.
Like the people that shit on the actors for their characters, are the same people that like don't deserve to be on the internet in the first place.
Oh boy!
I'm looking at like half the Star Wars fan base.
Us. So I will say that one of the best scenes in the movie is after Art just absolutely demolishes the mortician. He goes to a laundromat, right? And the laundromat owner is sleeping, passed out, and Art strips completely naked, by the way.
Bare ass in the wind.
Bare ass in the wind. Not even Pooh Bear in it. Bare ass in the wind. His makeup is still on, and he throws the clothes in the laundry machine and is just chilling on a chair. And he's looking around, and then all of a sudden he turns and looks and sees a little girl in the same sort of getup as him. And at first you're like, what the fuck is this? And then he looks at her, and she immediately shits on the floor.
That little girl freaking stopped me in my tracks because like I went to unmute myself, unmuted, was about to make a joke, and then she just started shitting on the floor, and I was just like,
guys, this is not a joke. Her first scene in the movie, shitted on the floor.
Yeah, like full on Taco Bell diarrhea, like all over the floor, and I was just like,
what the fuck?
I forgot the joke I was gonna tell Chris because all right, first of all, I'm not sure if that's actual makeup on him or if that's his actual face.
No,
you know what I mean?
I think it's fake teeth, fake nose.
Yeah, because he like took off his like little hood, like the balaclava kind of thing, and the hat.
It's like a morph suit.
But like it showed like his head, and then it meshed into like the Art the Clown look on his face.
It's just because the makeup was like really white, and so was the costume, so it blended. Like you can clearly see the line.
But like he washed his like face and everything. He was completely clean after the laundromat, so the makeup would have washed off.
Oh, are you talking about the character and not the actual actor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I said
I was talking about the actor.
That's why I said it was a fake nose and fake teeth. Okay.
Yeah, obviously it's a fake nose and fake teeth. If somebody was built like that, I'd feel so bad for them.
That's why they got him.
No, like Art's like actual face. That's like his face. How are you born like that?
I don't know. Well, he's a killer clown, all right? What are you going to expect? He probably got into that for a reason. So then he kills the mortician. Oh, and you find out that the little girl is a hallucination of Art. But then later in the movie, the other characters can see her. So I'm thoroughly confused at this point.
Like, is Art like...
Is he manifesting this girl?
I was gonna say manifesting, but I kind of want to say like mentally projecting. Or is that the same thing?
No, because maybe it might be. I don't know, but it's just a little weird. And I want to preface this: this girl appears throughout the movie. I'm going to say
there's no backstory on her.
That the movie would have been the same if the girl did not exist.
Yeah, she really didn't do anything.
She didn't provide anything, and it got to the point where having the girl in there was just getting annoying.
Yeah, every time she popped up on screen, I looked at Discord, and I just saw like Chris just roll his eyes because she really didn't do anything except look menacing at the other characters.
And at that point, there's no like fear that the audience would get from this girl anymore. You've already seen her shit on the floor. So like that kind of just took you out of it in the first scene of her being in the movie.
Yeah, so, they really like blew their load very early with her.
And
literally, because Jesus Christ, she emptied her guts.
And I would just say that I don't know, just Art having a little sidekick, it doesn't fit the character.
Right. And, like, I guess you could argue that in the first movie, he had that baby doll, and he was kind of, like, cradling it and everything. Remember? Because that one crazy homeless lady?
But he only
like,
did...
that's my baby!
He only did that to get the homeless lady, because remember, he killed her and then wore her.
Well, I don't know, because, like, it seemed pretty genuine for a psychopath. But, like, I guess you could say that he wanted to, like, have, like, a child of his own or something.
No, I think that might be reading too into it.
That might, yeah. But
so
no, the little girl just made no sense in this movie.
Okay, so we've been kind of going through the movie a little bit, but let's start talking more about the characters. So Sienna is our lead girl. We've already established this, and she has the brother Jonathan and has her mother Barbara. Nick did not like Barbara at all.
Oh, she was a bitch.
The family suffered a tragedy where the father ended up going... You learn this later in the movie. There's no father, but you learn later that he went crazy, got abusive, but they never talk about it, and then ended up killing himself by driving into a transformer, right?
A transformer.
Okay.
Which I'm like, which transformer? Bumblebee or Optimus Prime? Because I feel like if it was Optimus, he'd survive. I feel like Optimus would try to save him. Bumblebee is like no nonsense. Like that, you see that dude show up, you know somebody's getting beheaded. So the dad definitely died. If
Bumblebee is Raphael, bro.
No, because he's too fun loving. So I would say he's more Michelangelo and like, but mad.
Mix them.
Okay.
Optimus is definitely Leonardo.
Oh, 100%.
And then Ratchet is Donatello.
Yeah.
All right. What's the other one? It was like a black Tacoma, right? What was his name? It was like a black pickup truck.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen a Transformers movie since the Bumblebee movie.
I never saw the Bumblebee movie. Anyway, moving on. So the family had a tragedy, and Sienna spends her days basically working on this Halloween costume that you later find out once again that her father had drawn up for her in his sketchbook. It's reminiscent of...
She's never seen it.
She's never seen it?
I don't think she's ever seen the sketch because...
But how's she making it?
She knew about the sketchbook. This is where I'm saying that the dad probably like saw like visions of the future because she started making it, and then when her brother was showing her the sketchbook, she's like, "Wait, that's the costume I'm making." She didn't know that.
This at all.
Yeah, it's.
I thought the father and the daughter had like talked to each other about this character, and that's why she was. Because don't you remember? She showed her mom. She's like, "Yeah, it's Dad's character."
Huh.
And then the mother was like, "Oh, well, it's one thing seeing a drawing, but seeing it on your daughter is different." I think you're wrong about this one.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, there was elements of like the dad seeing visions.
You fucked up.
All right, okay, whatever. All right, so there was elements of like the dad's sketchbook being like visions of what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I think it was more like he drew the armor because he knew that the girl was the armor to defeat Art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
And you had a theory about the dad.
I had a theory about the dad, but we're gonna get into it a little bit. So she's making this almost Valkyrie-like armor. It's a gold armor set, and it has wings, like angelic wings. And then they have they have breakfast with Jonathan and the mother, and Jonathan was like, "Hey, can you teach me how to do makeup because I want to go as Art the Clown?" And the mother has a fucking freak out. And no, the daughter.
Valid.
Yeah, the Sienna has a freak out, and she's like, "Why are you going dressed as a serial killer who's still out? Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah, like she's like, "This happened last year," and that's when we realized that the movie takes place a year later.
Yeah, after like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And the mother's like, "What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "He wants to imitate a serial killer that escaped and killed like 5 people last year." And so valid argument.
Yeah, you kind of like said that bar for bar too. Like I remember that exact dialogue.
And the kid has like a crash out and just like runs upstairs and kind of pouts. And that's when we're like, okay, this kid's a fucking idiot.
Also, he runs weird.
He runs weird. So that's like our main argument is he runs weird. So
He runs weird. He has a long neck.
the mother is like, hey, basically, is there something wrong with Jonathan? Are you worried about Jonathan? And the daughter's like, I don't fucking know, man.
What's wrong with Johnny?
What's wrong with Johnny? So they go to school, and Jonathan starts playing with a dead possum. His friends get him in trouble, and then it skips to class. And then he's like, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And she's like, sure. So he goes to the hallway, and in the bottom of the hallway, like the bottom floor, he sees the dead possum being thrown around by Art and the little girl. And they chuck the possum at him. And he's like, ah! And drops it and runs. And the principal comes in like this, like this, like they can see me. She's like doing the He-Man stance.
The Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, like, power pose.
And then she's like, Jonathan, wait! And then he fucking runs.
Why is she British?
I don't know. Anywho, I feel like we're getting off track.
Yeah, I'm like, are you gonna go through the entire movie? Like,
Am I?
where were you going with this?
I don't know. I kind of just started talking.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
let's go back a little bit.
Let's go in the way back machine.
Some continuity stuff that I really liked.
Oh yeah.
So in the first scene where Art kills a mortician, they kind of pan up and you see a gunshot wound at the top of his head, and he's also missing an eye. I don't remember if his eye was like stabbed, like his eye was like stabbed out,
Maybe.
or something.
I think so.
And so I really like the continuity of the missing eye and the gunshot wound exactly where it would be, because most movies would forget about that. Just kind of like go along.
So I agree. And another piece of continuity is that there's a scene where Art is watching TV and he gets mad because it's the woman from the previous movie giving a testimony on live TV about Art. And what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, like, it's like a scene, like, shot for shot kind of remake of the beginning of the first movie.
If you would have waited like a second.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Bro, you're blowing too early. You gotta edge a little bit.
I'll shut the fuck up.
No, so some interesting things. Sienna ends up falling asleep, right, at some point in the movie while she's working on her costume, and she has this dream sequence where she's like in this like play, like again McDonald's Playland type shit. All the kids are having fun. There's adults around, stuff like that. She looks like Pippi Longstockings.
They're singing like a jingle.
Yeah, they're singing a jingle about some cereal, and then Art shows up, massacres everybody basically, and shoots her, not accidentally, he just shoots around. She gets hit in the leg, and then the dream sequence ends with her stabbing him or something like that.
No, like, all right, Art showed up with a Tommy gun, like when.
Oh my god! I swear to God that I was gonna say, imagine if he pulls a Tommy gun out of that bag, but
yeah.
Yeah, he just unloads. He like gave treats to the kids. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then he gave a box of chocolates to Sienna, and inside of it was a heart, like a human heart.
It was art, and it was like oozing.
Yeah.
It didn't look like blood. It just kind of looked like a black substance, like venom.
Yeah, like black ooze.
Kind of coming up. But there's like this kid, because like before they got all freaking like gunned down, you know, Valentine's Day massacre type style.
Yeah. Good reference.
Yeah, right. They were like singing
this like cereal jingle.
The jingle. Yeah, the jingle, and like the entire like premise of the jingle was like, oh, this food sucks, but we're happy about it, you know, like it's absolute dog shit. And there's this kid who's eating this cereal, and he like poured it out. It's like glass, worms, bugs, and stuff like that. And Sienna reaches into the box, and she's like, you know, getting cut up by all the glass, but you know, Art's coming with this flamethrower.
Oh, I remember this now.
And doesn't she like pull out a pistol or something?
No, she pulls out the sword.
Okay.
So Sienna
And then-
in her room, in her real life room, had like this just sword that
I remember now.
says, she was like, be careful with that thing. It's wicked sharp, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, she's running her fingers over the blade. And I'm like, you're
Like
fucking dumb.
I'll say it's like along the blade, but I'm like, she's definitely gonna cut herself.
Yeah.
Right now.
So she kills Art with that in the dream and then burns him alive. Right?
Well, I think no, she deflected the flame with the sword, and then she woke up.
No. Art burns the singing girl alive. There was a girl with a banjo singing, and he goes up to her and was like, pff, with a flamethrower. I remember he like kind of dances in front of her.
Yeah.
So after
and
Sienna,
then he was going.
yeah, go for it.
Well, he was gonna go up to Sienna with the flamethrower, and he as soon as he like lit it to like light her up, she pulled the sword out and like
Cut
stopped
his, something. Yeah,
she like absorbs it like the flame, and then she wakes up to
her room on fire.
her room on fire. Like the altar is like where her wings are, up in flames, and her mom's like, "What the fuck?"
No, legit. And so that's where it kind of starts getting weird that like she's having these visions. Her mom, arguably completely justified, is upset the fact that her daughter's room caught fire. But Sienna argues that she turned off all the candles. This is why I don't fuck with candles that much.
Yeah,
You just never know.
I make sure. That's why I like incense, because it can't really burn anything.
I like wax warmers.
Wax warmers are good.
Yeah.
I haven't had one in a while.
I will say, my opinion, the dream sequence ran on for way too long.
It was a very long
It was like
scene,
a 15-minute scene.
and the jingle was going on for way too long too. Like it
was the
stopped being
entire
unsettling
scene.
and just it stopped being unsettling at some point. It just became kind of annoying.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like filler.
So then the fire happens, and the mother was like, go to my room, I'll sleep on the couch or something like that. Or the daughter's like, no, I can still sleep in my room, it's fine. And in my head, I'm just like, why wouldn't the daughter and the mother just sleep together in the same room?
That, and I would argue that Sienna could still sleep in her room because it was only her dresser and like altar area that got like lit on fire.
Yeah, but I don't think you
Her
want to
bed
like.
was still fine.
I don't think you want to like breathe in that like carbon stuff. So another with that one is realizing that this movie was released in 2022. A good chunk of this movie was filmed during the pandemic.
What were you doing during the pandemic?
Going to school.
Dang.
Remember, I didn't have a
had,
graduation.
I think I had like 3 different jobs that year.
Shit.
No, 4. Because I started off as a mechanic, went to construction, then nursing, and then embroidery, where I'm at now.
Yeah, but you stuck with embroidery, so that's good. But yeah, man, 2022, and they filmed this movie in the dead of the pandemic. That's crazy. So we're gonna skip along now. There's a famous scene from Terrifier 2 where Sienna is trying to find new wings for her costume because all of her wings completely burned up, and they were low-key really cool. Like if it wasn't for art, she'd have a career in probably costume design and cosplay.
She's really good at it. There's a few things that I had some issues with.
Okay.
There was a scene with her airbrushing her wings in her room
With no
and
ventilation
I'll tell
and
you
no
the-
mask.
No ventilation, no mask, no gloves. Like, she should be having paint on her hands, and
Yeah.
they didn't really show that. And then also there was something else.
Was
that
the
I
hot
was
glue
like-
gun?
No, it wasn't the hot glue gun. It was something else. I can't remember though.
So anyway,
But she's wicked, like, good at like with the
wow,
the
you
costume
pulled out
making.
Wicked.
Freaking wicked.
Wiki.
Oh wait, no. Oh, what was that one from The Mandalorian? He's like, how'd she fly? And he's like, wizard.
Oh yeah, that's right. So so they're at this Halloween store. It's her and her friend Allie. Her and her friend Allie, and Sienna's looking at some new wings, and they're all just pretty shitty and bad quality. And Allie was just pick one, like these are really cute, blah, 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 all that. So she picks one. She's like trying it on. Allie's like, I gotta go pee or something. Or she's like, I'll meet you later. And as Allie leaves, she runs into Art, And she's like, excuse me. And she kind of thinks he's funny. You know, it's just like a guy in a store, in a Halloween store. And Art, this is the best thing ever. So Sienna's like trying on the wings. And she's like doing the poses and sees Art in the back. He's leaning against the wall, like what is it, James Dean style. And she looks at him dead in the eye, is terrified. And then he just does the like the little eye. The eye, he's like, "What's up?" Yeah.
At first, he's standing like really still. So like, I figured she thought he was just a statue.
That's what I thought too.
At first, and then he did the eyebrow wiggle.
So funny.
She's like, "Oh shit, she's real."
He's like, "Oh fuck it, move." So she backs away, and evidently leaves her purse there alone. Goes to pay for the wings, and the guy was like, "It's 30 some dollars." No, it was a stupid amount of money for the set of wings. It was like $35.
It's accurate. If you really if you go to Spirit Halloween, they'll charge you. I think I tried to buy fangs for a friend's vampire themed birthday party. I was gonna buy these fangs. They wanted to charge me $25.
$25? Isn't it like $8 on the pack?
Yeah, I just went to Walmart and just picked some up from there. I was like, I'm not paying $25 for things I'm gonna use once.
Beyond stupid.
They were like the stick-on ones, but it's
so she goes to pay. She can't find her money. All of a sudden, Art pops up behind her and was like, "Here's your purse, bitch," and just plops her right in front of her.
He slams it on the counter next to her,
and
he seemed pissed about it too.
Yeah, he's like, "You really fucking made me carry this shit." So she's like panicking, looking through the purse for money. And this is the meme where Art is in the back playing with all these toys. Like, he puts on sunglasses and he does the face with his hands out, and then he has the ones where there's springs, and he's like just blah, 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 like that.
And I thought Art was a figment of her imagination at first. Like he was like only she could see him.
Okay.
But then the store guy. Then the clerk like acknowledges him. He's like, "Hey, what?" He blew like a horn.
It was one of those like things where you put it in your mouth and you blow and it stretches out.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, if you put your mouth on it, you got to pay for it." And I was like, "Okay, no, the clerk can see him too." So the clerk can just see this like random guy in a clown costume, just being a menace in the background.
Exactly. So she pays. She leaves, and then Art goes and closes the door and locks it. So then he turns around and wants to buy a horn, like a bicycle horn, like one of those things.
Yeah.
And the guy was like,
$8.99.
$8.99 for this fucking like thing. And Art starts pulling out like bloody dollar bills and a bunch of coins. And the dude gets fed up with it and he goes, "You keep doing this shit, I'm going to call the cops." So Art then like crashes out, grabs him, and yanks him over the counter and starts killing him. So then we get to my newest kind of, not really a gripe, but like, oh, it could have been better. The practical effects of this kill weren't even as good as the first movie, which had much less budget.
Lazy.
Well, it that and like the editing, like if you edited it a bit more, maybe you could get it, because there were some shots in there. It was clear like the skin tone was different, the texture of the body was like a weird, material.
It just looked really fake.
Yeah.
Like with the practicals with the possum,
that looked real.
Like when Jonathan at school, that looked real. I was like legit like what they use for the possum guts. Like, I hope not a real one.
Yeah.
But that was like pretty on the money. They were like picking that possum apart.
It was disgusting.
Stretching it. Yeah.
Another thing is, I think the audio mixing in this movie could have been done just a little better, because there were some scenes where the music was so loud that you couldn't hear the characters speak. And we're not talking about like the club scene where it's like meant to be loud. I'm talking about like
Right.
just like the sound effects and the background music of certain scenes where you really had to listen into what the character was saying, or otherwise you had to put subtitles on.
I didn't notice it that much.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no, not really.
Okay.
I have bad ears though, you know that.
Yeah, that's true. You don't fucking listen for shit. So in lieu of what?
One more thing. I forgot to mention. Art the Clown in this Halloween store, like without the killing, is very much like Chris in any store. I've been to Walmart. I've been to different grocery stores with Chris, and he's essentially like that.
What are you talking about? I'm not killing people.
No, not that part. Just everything else.
Just like fucking around with random shit.
Yeah.
So, for the sake of not going through the entire like scene for scene of the movie, we're gonna jump around a little bit. All right. So we talked about some technical aspects and the practical effects, the soundtrack, and the audio mixing. What do you think was the most? Well, I think I already know the answer for this one. The most memorable moment of the movie. Man, this is a toughie.
That is a toughie. It's what's her name? Holly?
Allie.
Allie's death. Jesus Christ.
So, okay. Allie's death is. I mean, I know that you have some things to say. I know that you're going to throw me under the bus for some shit. So I'm going to have you take it away for this.
Okay. It starts off with Allie's giving out, like, she's giving candy out to trick-or-treaters, and Art shows up with this little garbage bag full of fun tools that he's going to use. And I will say this, Allie's kind of being, like, a little too hard on him at first, because she's just like, what if you fucking weirdo? You're such a creep. Closes the door.
Told Nick this, that if an adult came up to me on Halloween and was like, trick or treat, and in costume, I'd give them candy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I would too.
Halloween's my favorite holiday. The fact that you're celebrating it still, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, go for it.
I used to take Maya trick-or-treating because my parents won't let her, so I'd sneak her out on Halloween. I've only been able to successfully take her trick-or-treating once because the first time was during the pandemic and we went a little too late.
Ooh.
Like they held trick-or-treating a lot earlier.
Boo.
But like I'd go in costume too, and I would go with Maya up to the doors and be like, trick or treat, and they'd give me candy, and I was like a grown man, kinda.
Kinda.
I was like 19 or 20 the first time, but
the last time I think I went trick or treating was like freshman year of high school for me, so I think I was about 14.
Yeah, that was the first time I went trick or treating.
Really? God, that sucked. Halloween's my favorite holiday, man. And man, it bothers me because I moved within like the last year. The place I moved to, nobody fucking does Halloween. I had 2 people come to my house.
I felt so bad on Halloween because Chris is so excited they like give out candy. He's dressed up as Laszlo from like What We Do in the Shadows. I was gonna say Always Sunny. What We Do in the Shadows. He grew out his hair for like a year for this.
Yeah. And two people showed up.
Oh my god, I was ready to go drive down there myself and take a couple passes at his house.
I had 2 huge bowls of candy. One, it was split between chocolate and fruity because I know that people have a preference, and I specifically have a preference because if you mix fucking fruity candy with chocolate, the chocolate's gonna taste like fucking fruity. Specifically, I have a problem with whoever packages goddamn Twizzlers with Hershey's and tastes that shit. That shit tastes like fucking Twizzlers. It's annoying.
Hey, buddy. Okay.
It's fucking annoying because Twizzlers suck. Twizzlers fucking suck. So when you open it up,
I'll say this: the only good Twizzlers are the peel ones. I like those Twizzlers.
That's just
it kind of feels like I'm. No, like you peel them off. Like the regular Twizzlers are just like a straw.
Twizzlers fucking suck.
Like think about like the power lines, like the cables that come down. Like think of the peel ones. They're like that, but you're like peeling the cable off and you're eating it. Yeah. I like those ones.
This is where we find out that Nick has a fantasy of eating garage cables.
Yep.
like
I've done it.
like electrical wires. So yeah, so continue. She's giving out the candy. I just realized
she's
I've been
giving
like
out candy.
nonstop talking for 50 minutes.
She's giving out candy. She's kind of being a little too hard on Art, and fair enough because he is very creepy and he's not talking at all. So she's like, "Oh, you're really in character." And at some point, she keeps closing the door, and you just hear like, he's banging on the door, and she's like, "Oh, okay, this is kind of scary." So she ends up going back upstairs and kind of like staying away from him. But he's back. He comes back. He breaks through the. He breaks through the glass door, and he's like, "Drink." She comes around because she's like, "What the fuck was that?" And she goes to the kitchen, and she just sees him walking in with his trash bag. He doesn't even acknowledge
Drops
her.
it on the ground.
Yeah. He fills himself up a glass of water and takes a drink, and he's
downs it too.
Wow. Yeah, he is parched, and he's like, "Wow, that was good water." Turns around, sees her, and he goes, "Oh, hey!
Look at that!"
Yeah, immediately starts chasing her. I don't know if I can say what he does to her, like play for play, or like play by play.
Meaning, like, you don't remember, or you don't think you want to relive that?
No, I don't think I can like get it all from memory. But at first, he slits her eye, like her face, through her eye with a scalpel.
So yeah, it starts off. She runs away, runs upstairs. And he catches up to her and grabs her from behind. So, like, that's where he was able to get the eye from.
Yeah, and he sliced her eye, grabbed some surgical scissors, and, like, cut, like, her hairline.
He scalps her.
Like, just rips it off. And the whole time, she's screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? I look over at Discord. Chris is dying.
I'm also shoving pizza into my mouth.
Yeah, he's eating during this. I'm staring at the screen like, what the fuck?
Probably
throws her onto the bed, and he starts like cutting her back with the surgical scissors, and then eventually like rips like the back skin off.
Yeah, that's where that jerky
breaks
comes
her
from.
arm. He breaks her arm from the elbow, and then like kind of wiggles it, kind of like what's a good kind of example of this? Maybe like when you're eating a whole chicken wing. Right? Like I'm talking about like the entire chicken wing.
Yeah.
And you like snap it and you kind of like wiggle off to get that crunchy bit off.
Ooh.
He does that to rip her arm off, right?
I want chicken wings now.
Right? I want those chicken wings from Bahama Breeze.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
So, rips her arm off. He keeps going to town on her, like cutting her up and everything. And she's freaking out.
At this point, a real person would have been dead.
Yeah, but she's still alive, and he's still like gutting her.
Oh, and then he leaves.
Yeah, he leaves the room. She's crawling on the floor. She's like, I gotta get out of here. Now, here's an unrealistic part. She left her phone on the other side of the room while she's doing her makeup, because she was doing her makeup before Art showed up.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about movies that they always get teenagers wrong, because there's no way in hell that her phone's at the other side of the room.
No, I can name 3 people addicted to their phones that it's like in their pocket.
And 3 of them is me.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, you don't text me back.
Yeah, I'm mostly doom scrolling.
This is what I don't get. You're on the phone. You see the notification. So you do 2 things. 1, completely ignore it because you are doom scrolling, or 2, it's in your way and you blatantly swipe it up.
I don't do that, okay? I don't do that. But I will say this, sometimes when I'm not texting back, I am with other people, and that's like the only time I don't like to take my phone out. You know this too, because when I'm with people, I don't like looking at my phone too long. I like to actually interact with them.
It's a fucking lie. Nick never goes out. He never sees people. All the time is in VR, but doesn't believe that he's in VR because he thinks he's talking to other people.
Okay, let's not get into this. Right? So Art walks out, right? She's crawling in the floor. I think she's trying to make it over to her phone so she can call her mom.
This part is fucking wild.
Dude, Art comes back. He's like so excited. He has a small bottle of bleach and some iodized salt. I thought it was pouring the bleach on her
I thought it was like shit. I think it was bleach actually.
Yeah, it was bleach because he threw the bottle down and it just, you saw the label. But he pours the bleach on her back where all the wounds are, all over her,
Cooking
and
her.
then he throws the salt on too.
He like a
literal salt in the
snail.
wound.
He salted her.
And I don't know why that was the most gruesome part to me because I just imagined the burning.
I was fucking dying.
At some point, kind of cuts away. The mom gets home, Allie's mom. She walks in. She sees the broken sliding door, and she's like, "Oh shit!" And she runs up to her daughter's room where she's like, "Oh no, I hope she's not dead." She's not dead, but we kind of hope she was.
Technically got her wish.
Yeah. So she runs up. And she runs up to the room and she sees her daughter all mangled, missing an arm, missing a leg, I think.
Yeah.
And Art kind of like picking away at her body.
Yeah.
Like in the bed. And she's like slumped over. And we're like, okay, she's probably dead. And
she like looks
she's
up.
like, oh, yeah. Allie, no. And then then Allie looks up, she goes, Mom. And I'm like, fuck. She's still alive. And then Art gets the mom.
Yeah, and then he turns the mother's fucking head into a candy bowl and starts feeding the kids. And then what's really funny is this one chubby kid tried to take 2 pieces and Art slapped his hand away. And he's like, no.
Here's where I kind of question some of the parents in this movie.
It's really funny.
While like all the moms are like incredibly hot.
I will say that, yes.
They don't have much common sense because this mom is taking her very like small children trick-or-treating. They go up to this house, which they should know the neighbors, right?
I don't know my neighbors.
Like, they should know that this clown doesn't live in the neighborhood. Holding the head of the homeowner with the and it looks very real because it is. But she's like, oh, that looks so. And then with Candy, if I was the parent there, I'd be like, turn around, kids. Like, let's go.
Johnny, look how awesome this house is. Don't you love Halloween? Here, take another piece.
Like, why does this smell so authentic?
What is it? Just the irony, like musty smell of the dried blood.
Yeah. And those kids went home and ate that candy. Think about that.
Oh, yeah. Your like fucking overweight son is like, I want another Crunch bar.
Now, here's the oh yeah, this is when I was like, yeah, Chris needs to go to the psych ward. And this is also when I questioned, because when we watched the first Terrifier movie, I was dog sitting for my cousin, and I was at her place all alone. And, Discord calling Chris, and we were watching the movie together. We watched the second one. My family's out of town. I'm watching the dog again. I'm home alone watching this movie with Chris again, dog sitting. And my dog barks at nothing. And I'm sitting there in this chair in the middle of my living room, back to the all entrances, and the only way I can see behind me is through the little camera on Discord.
Very stupid.
And I'm like, if anything showed up, I can like see it through the camera, and that's even freakier. Augie starts barking at nothing while the craziest things are happening, and I'm just like, can we give this dog back to his mom or something? Like, can we get rid of? Because he does that a lot, and I will say I was a little freaked out after we finished watching.
So wait, why do I have to go to the psych ward?
I don't know. You were laughing too hard.
Fuck you. That pizza was good, though. I'm not going to lie. Pizza was really good. So we skip ahead, and it's now Halloween night, and the daughter, Sienna... Wait, why do we keep fucking relaying all the... Watch the movie, guys. We're like all over the place. Oh, yeah, another thing. So Sienna goes to a nightclub after her mom was like, don't go to a nightclub. So Sienna goes to a nightclub. And this is where I am just like, man, I hope I never go to a nightclub with Nick because I can already see him doing this to me. Her friend Brooke drugs her with Molly.
Yeah, and I will say this. This is my, I'm very proud of myself for catching the signs because I noticed Sienna and what's the other girl's name? Allie? Like, Brooke.
Because Allie's dead.
I noticed Sienna...
Brooke and Sienna are in the club as Allie is getting tortured.
Yeah. So this is where I'm proud of myself. I don't know why, but I noticed Sienna and Brooke...
You suck.
I noticed that they've been drinking, but they don't look like they've been drinking. They're like whoa, this is great. They're like really feeling themselves, and I'm like, that's not drunk. They're on Molly. They're like on a psychedelic.
That's not drunk. I know drunk. I'm always drunk. They're on drugs because I know drugs. I'm always on drugs.
Yeah. Not always, but like I'm like noticing they're like not moving like they're drunk. They're moving like they're on like a psychedelic, and they did a close-up shot kind of, and I got a good glimpse at Sienna's eyes, and her pupils were dilated like crazy. On psychedelics, your eyes become saucers. It's just like portals of black. Like,
I wonder how they did that. You can get dilators, like eye dilators.
Yeah, they had to have done that. So,
or contacts.
You know, I noticed that. I'm like, and I tell Chris, I'm like, they're on Molly or ecstasy of some sort. And then Sienna's like, man, like those drinks are strong. And then Brooke goes, yeah, I put Molly in your drink.
I swear to God,
fuck.
If you ever do that to me,
I will kill you. Okay, like I would never. I've been telling Chris I would never.
I can see you doing that to me.
Saying it. Oh my God. Says the guy. I've been telling you for months. You cannot handle even 20 milligrams of an edible.
I could
and
do
you're sitting
it.
there like,
give me 200.
Yeah, see, and you're sitting there like, give me 200.
Give me 200. I could handle it.
I was geeked off 10. That's
because you're a lightweight. You can't do it. You can't handle it.
You haven't done it in years.
So?
Thinks he's Joey Diaz out here.
I am.
Anyway,
I'm a fat Cuban.
Huge bitch for doing that. Like how, like, you don't just drug your friend with Molly. That's crazy.
That's what I was saying. I'm saying if you ever do that to me, don't.
Count your fucking days, dude.
Do you see, guys? He's threatening to fucking drug me.
You know, I'm threatening to kill you. You're coming to my house
with drugs
in about a month. And I'm gonna kill you with drugs.
He's gonna kill me with overdose on Molly while we're clubbing.
Yeah, they finish up at the club because Jonathan calls Sienna.
He's because got into an argument with the mother, sprayed her entire car with shaving cream and wrote "bitch" on the front windshield. He
didn't do that.
Well, she thought he did.
Continue with that scene to like really like nail it in.
Okay, guys, this was a fucking hilarious scene. So he got into an argument with the mother because the mother found him in his room going through this like sketchbook that the father had. They get into an argument. He runs away, and the mother then finds the car completely covered in shaving cream, like head to toe in shaving cream, and just
how many cans do you think it was?
I don't know, because shaving cream can spread. That's the thing. So like, I think
that's true.
One can could probably take the hood and the windshield.
Because like any other kind of foam would like dissipate pretty easily.
Have you noticed that whipped cream, when you put it out, like it's whipped cream, it's fluffy, but like 5 minutes later, it's just turning into liquid?
Yeah, and then shaving cream, it just stays there.
Yeah, shaving cream's fun. Do you remember when you put the shaving cream on your desk in elementary school and like you would be cleaning your desk? Did you ever do that?
No.
So for us in my elementary school, they like to play for whatever fucking playtime when it was raining probably. Sometimes they would put like a dollop of shaving cream on the desk so that you could spread it out and like draw with your fingers and shit like that. And then you would just like wipe it off. I don't know, bro. It was tactile. Anyway, so
what kind of fucking school did you go to?
I don't know, man. I didn't even graduate. So the bitch is written on the car. She freaks out, calls Sienna in the club as she's tripping. And Sienna's like, don't act drunk, don't act high, don't act drunk, don't act high. And the mother immediately, she goes, are you drunk?
Are you drunk?
And Sienna's like, no. She's like,
what are you
talking about? Sienna, you're drunk. No. Are you high? No. So the mother is like bitching to Sienna about the kid Jonathan, and Sienna is basically like, Ma, he's a kid, calm down, like I'll deal with him. Then she puts the phone away, hangs up the phone, starts cleaning the car, and then she's like cleaning, gets to the driver's side window, and you see this like figure in the car, and she wipes the shaving cream off the driver's side window, and it's Art in the car, and he looks at her, pulls out a sawed-off shotty, blows her fucking head off. Legitimately, to the point where it flies across the other side of the room.
It bounces off the wall. Now, what's with Art really kind of
with the guns
kind of changes. Yeah, because you don't see any other slashers where they just whip out a gun. First one, he whips out one out of nowhere. Second one, it's 2 different guns. It's first Tommy, and then the second.
Oh yeah,
shotgun.
I forgot about the Tommy and the flamethrower too.
And the flamethrower, which I would count as a gun.
I will say there might have been a continuity issue because if you remember, Sienna comes home, right, and sees that Art is having dinner with the mother's dead body, and her head is on. Oh, Jonathan, yeah. And her head is on.
Yeah.
And there's no visible real damage to it. Like, you're getting shot in the face with a shotgun,
it's a gaping hole in her face. But still, like, it's like a gaping hole in her face. Because remember, he fed her mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's right. Art is
her head should not be attached. He is a very gracious host.
He's a very great. Those mashed potatoes look good, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know about that.
I want some mashed potatoes now.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, like her head should not be attached still. It unless he put it back on.
So I don't know. So we're gonna have to really round off us talking about this whole movie because we're about an hour and 10 minutes. So I want to just say the movie. No, we're not gonna talk about the ending of the movie quickly because that's gonna be the last like.
Yeah, you need time for that.
I need time for that. So the most memorable moment, because that's how we started this whole discussion, was Allie getting absolutely destroyed. Now, what did you like most about the film?
About the film, I really liked Sienna. Even like I'm not saying it's just because she was ridiculously pretty, but like
Nick thought
I actually did like her character.
Super hot and was
You did too, okay?
No.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Anyway, no, but I did really like her character up until the end because it felt a little too Rambo-y.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that as well. I would say my favorite part is kind of how over the top the kills were, and
yeah, they really stepped up their game this time.
Really did, and specifically that Art had more of a personality in this one. I like that.
Yeah, he was definitely like, I don't know if cute's the right word,
playful,
but he was like more fun. Yeah, playful. He was more playful.
Now, what did you dislike the most?
Fucking Jonathan.
Really?
No, the thing I disliked the most was freaking Brooke drugging Sienna with Molly.
Why would you dislike something that you would do?
That's a very uncool move, especially in an unknown environment, and the other person not knowing. So
I'm telling you, man,
you don't mess around.
You gotta stop. You
don't mess around with psychedelics. Don't mess around with psychedelics, especially with Sienna's family having obviously a family history of mental health issues like schizophrenia.
I'm telling you, man. You don't know what people go through. You got to stop playing with fire.
What are you talking about?
Stop drugging people.
I'm not drugging people.
No, yeah, that was a really annoying character trait.
Seriously, uncool move. But other than that, I really just didn't like Jonathan.
Yeah.
Kid moved weird. He ran weird. He had a long neck. A lot of real estate to like grab him.
Yeah, I remember we were making that joke. Oh man.
Because he didn't even have to run into Art. Because like Art grabbed him after Jonathan saw his mom dead at the dinner table, and he really just went him with something. Yeah, like Jonathan's running, and then he just like bow, grabbed him. So easy.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So the thing I disliked the most, besides the ending, I would say was probably the clown girl. She didn't provide anything to the story.
That's the thing. If you hadn't said anything, I completely forgot about her.
Exactly. She provided nothing to the story. And like, what if you are having something in the movie, it needs to give some sort of substance. That little clown girl really didn't do anything.
Maybe if she assisted with the kills, like
she didn't.
Like,
well, she cut
hands
on.
I don't know. She just looked at people menacingly.
And she remember that one scene where she like had yellow glowing eyes just randomly
for no reason. She had Sith eyes.
Okay, so the ending of the film.
All right, get into it, buddy.
Do you have any thoughts before I kind of just like...
I kind of knew how this movie was going to end because, again, I've seen the video on it. So I knew that like she was going to come back to life or regain some power through the sword.
Did you know how I was going to react?
No, I didn't know how you were going to react.
All right.
But as soon as you started as soon as you started predicting what was gonna happen, you're like, because Chris goes, "Oh, I fucking hope they don't do this," and I was just like, "Oh yeah, he's not gonna like this."
Dude, it's a blessing and a curse.
It is
My unnatural ability to call plots in movies. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. Like we haven't just summarized the entire movie already.
Yeah.
The final stand between Sienna and Art and Jonathan. So Jonathan is trapped in this carnival and Sienna comes to rescue him. And they're having like this final battle. Sienna gets really fucked up. She got some licks on Art. And Jonathan is like playing dead or something in this like warehouse that's full of garbage and shit. And Art punches Sienna and basically what's that? Is that a suplex? What's that move where you pick him up and you throw him down? What's that wrestling
choke
move?
Slam?
A choke slam? He basically
Choke
choke
slam
slams her.
or a power bomb.
Fucking shut up. He basically choke slams her into this like trap door looking like piece of wood, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, he's gonna put her through the floor. He's gonna put her ass through the floor.
Yeah, because it's just like a wide kind of like area that's just like as soon as you throw her in, it's gonna go ding 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 and light up kind of thing.
So like, why is that there in the first place? Right?
I don't know.
So he does that. She falls like maybe 12 feet down to the bottom of this like pit, and it's another room. Art then goes down a set of stairs that seems to be maybe a couple feet away from her. She's on the floor. She got the fucking wind knocked out of her. Art comes up and like, I think just there's this fucking God, this is so stupid. There's this rectangular portal on the floor near where she fell. It's like this glowing red rectangle and just cloud fog smokiness inside of it. So you're standing there as the audience and you're going to be, what the hell is this? You know? So Art, I think, stabs her. He does like a final blow.
He stabs her with her own sword in like the gut.
He stabs her with her own sword in the gut and throws the body into this portal. It's the only way to really describe it as a fucking portal.
Because it's like a portal, but it's also like the entrance to this water tank.
But I think that's all in her head.
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you, dude.
She then is transported to this fucking Bacta tank from Star Wars and is floating there. And as she's in the earlier dream sequence where, remember, it was like the people singing and dancing with...
Yeah, it was like on set.
Yeah, she's on set watching all this happen. I don't remember exactly like what went on because there was a thing that she saw that, she sees the dead kid eating the cereal and in her mind was like, oh, that's Jonathan. I gotta save Jonathan. She gets a second wind or something after nearly drowning in the Bacta tank.
Yeah, something supernatural happened.
Happens.
So stupid.
And a light from, I'm not making this up, people. A light from above shines on her. She breaks free of the chains that are holding her in this tank. And she does, I swear to you, the Superman fly stance, shoots out of this portal and grabs the sword. And now she's like good to go. She's finally battle ready. Runs the fuck upstairs. Sees Art chewing on the leg of Jonathan, trying to eat him. And I don't know what she does to get his attention. But once Art turns around and sees her, she holds up the sword. It fucking starts glowing red.
No.
Like a lightsaber.
the sword started glowing before she grabbed onto it to like kind of, because it started glowing, and then like the wound on her stomach kind of
that's
like
right,
shut again.
That's right. Never
she
mind.
Like healed.
The fucking lightsaber looking ass sword. It looks like a gladius basically. I'm so heated by this that I can't even remember how stupid of a fucking ending this movie is. So I wrote down in my notes. I wrote this down. And I said, I've never had a movie go downhill so bad in the last 20 minutes. The supernatural resurrection of Sienna was so random and out of place, and it really was. Because in the entire movie, nothing supernatural but art is occurring. So she grabs the sword, it glows red, it basically auto-sutures her stab wound in her stomach, and then she goes upstairs and battles Art and cuts his fucking head off. That's it.
Yep. And it took a couple whacks, too. Like, I thought the sword was supposed to be razor sharp, quote unquote. It took a couple whacks.
It stabbed through her very easily, but it couldn't like clean cut through his head. And and then our favorite character comes in. The little girl walks up, grabs Art's decapitated head, and looks at it. I legit thought she was gonna start making out with the head. And then just like
really gross,
cries and like walks away with it.
Right, and she just kind of cradles it.
What the hell just happened?
Dude, and like it doesn't even do any kind of like what happens after this, because it kind of cuts the credits. It felt like a very lazy ending.
There's no real continuation of the story. Now you're wondering, okay, how is this girl and her brother gonna function when they've seen the mother being force-fed mashed potatoes without a fucking mouth? She has a hole in her face.
Which shouldn't be, like, her head shouldn't be there in general. Now, I'll say this. We both agree the ending was really bad. If they established more the supernatural stuff with Sienna and her sword, I would get it. But it came out of nowhere.
And it was I just think it didn't fit the vibe.
It really didn't. Arguably because, Art came back from the dead, but, like, Sienna, like, had no real link to that. It kind of just happened.
So this is where you had mentioned earlier that I had maybe a theory that could be plausibly true. I think that the dead father is connected to Art in a way, and possibly maybe even Art.
Yeah, you mentioned I want some evidence.
I want some evidence. Well, we're going to have to watch the third movie. But I truly think that there's another connection going on here, and that maybe he went so insane that his soul or something turned into Art, or he really didn't kill himself. You don't really get a lot of information about what happened to the father.
Or maybe because I don't know if they actually implied this or not, but I'm guessing that the dad died around the same time as the first Terrifier movie happening. And because like the mom is still like it's still really fresh with the mom, because she's like, "Oh, I'm a single mom now. I got 2 kids to watch over."
And Jonathan's not fucking helping out with anything. He's being a little bitch.
So maybe like Art, the dad died the same time as Art, and the dad's soul got like absorbed or something like that.
I don't know. That's like kind of my idea.
Yeah. So anyway, what would you rate it out of 5 stars?
Out of 5 stars, I gave it a 2.
Yeah, I gave it a 3, just because I like the higher production value and better characters.
I was very upset about the ending, to the point where the ending ruined the movie for me. And again, everybody's a critic. This is just my opinion. I see Damien Leone in the street. I'm not going to say it to his face, because I'm like, it's his project. I'm not.
No, but like, I just want to talk to him.
Exactly. So I didn't like it as much as the first one. Hopefully the third one is better.
Okay. All right. And then we got the fourth one too, right?
Oh, the fourth one is coming out.
Which one is the Christmas one? Is it the third one?
I think it's the third one.
Okay.
So if that's Christmas, does that mean it's going to take place 2 months after this one?
Let's see. I'm pretty sure Sienna is back in this one too, because I'm pretty sure her actress was in the credits, or like when you look up Terrifier 3.
Other than that, I think that's pretty much it on Terrifier. I don't have anything much else to talk about Terrifier 2 until the next one. We have Terrifier 3 in this lovely series of movies. Yeah, do you have any last words before we start bringing it to a close?
Not really. You know, this is a bit of a longer episode. This is the first episode we're doing where we're just recording, no stream.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Alrighty.
To say.
Well, just to do some little housekeeping, thank you everybody for listening. Please remember to follow us on Spotify at Barely Literate BMC and on Instagram, again, at Barely Literate BMC for all of your updates, lovely memes, and fun ways to hang out, keep track of what we're doing. And then you can follow me at Jericho on Instagram. You can follow Nick at Guberino16. Yep, on Instagram as well. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Oh.
Yep. Don't forget to leave a comment under our Spotify and YouTube postings.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everybody for listening. Hope you have a great rest of whatever the hell you're doing. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.